So what does it actually cost to hike Everest Base Camp? I tracked every dollar, from flights to food, tips to tea houses, and today I'm breaking it all down. My total, $5,613 US. I'm not teasing you with the total at the end. I spent about $5,613 for my Everest Base Camp adventure. But stick around because I'll break down how you could do it for less and where you shouldn't cut corners. Flights covered. So this is about $1,800 to go from the United States to Nepal. Yes, I did a lot of layover trips in between, so mine wasn't exactly that, but if I would have flown straight in and straight out, it would have been about maybe $2,000. So the trekking package through my company Alpine Ramble was around $1,600. Meals, snacks, power, Wi-Fi, about $500. Tip, around $420, split in a 60-40 split between my guide and porter. And gear, so I spent around $510 US on gear, which I actually had a lot more gear already that I already had, like shoes, backpacks, a lot of the big expenses. Now for hotels before and after the trek, $200. Don't forget souvenirs, gifts, I spent about $100. And of course, unexpected expenses like Ubers, massages, insurance, medicine, around $400. I didn't go budget or luxury, just somewhere in the middle. But here's what it looks like. I did more traveling before and after Everest, but a round trip flight from the US to Nepal with 2 stops is around $1,800 if you book early. Now, domestic flight, Kathmandu to Lukla, that is included in your trekking package. Now, note for some viewers now, flight prices swing a lot based on season and how early you book. So, a few notes about booking your flight though. Book your flight with your full name, including your middle name. This is a requirement for Asian countries, so you don't want to be stuck trying to add in your middle name after you've already booked. Some airlines won't even let you have to rebook the whole ticket. Others make you pay a fee while having to talk to a bunch of people to add it. Another non-budget related item, but pay extra to get an aisle seat. So you can stretch your legs, use the bathroom as you wish, bring extra water. I bring about 3 regular water bottles on my international flights. That is a big deal, just to stay hydrated, because they don't give you much water on the flight. Also, bring snacks, protein bars, and whatever you want to eat, because the food on the plane A is not good and never enough. Also, bring wired headphones, because your wireless earbuds will run out of battery, and you don't want to waste time charging them, because then what are you going to listen to while you're charging them? So my trekking package was $1,683. Now that's the less crowded route. So it cost around $1,119, but I wanted to pay extra for a premium guide. So that was an extra $300. And I also wanted a porter. That was an extra $264. I would highly recommend paying for that premium guide. Even for the same trekking company, I've heard stories that not every guide is as amazing as Bhupal. So once again, you get what you pay for. So very, very happy I paid extra for the premium guide. And of course the porter, an absolute must. No way you could do that and carry, as you saw in one of the videos, there's no way you can carry that bag on your own. So it's definitely worth it. Having a whole human being for 11 days for only $264, worth it. Now, what does this trekking package include when you buy it through your trekking company? Most all trekking companies are similar, but for mine, lodging in all the tea houses was included, 3 meals a day, all the permits for all the national parks. And while I am out thinking about it, I'd like to call out Alpine Ramble Treks. Highly recommend. And seriously, don't forget, ask for Bhupal. What a legend of a guide. There are many trekking companies that may be a little bit cheaper, but you get what you pay for. Alpine Ramble is the largest company, meaning they have the most popular guides and meaning they do the most business with the tea houses. And that's important because you want to get those reserved seats near the heater. The smaller companies don't spend enough money to get those perks. So you want the support of multiple guides on the trail. So that way, if something does go wrong, there's another guide right down the trail with the same company. And also better airline tickets. They book so many flights that they're able to reschedule and get the best flights from Lukla or to Lukla from Kathmandu. So you don't want to be stuck taking a bus and trying to find your way to Lukla another way. So, when you want a trekking company, bigger is better, and bigger in my case is also the best. So Alpine Ramble. Water bottle was a big one, $2 to $5 as you go up. It may be cheaper to do water purification tablets and maybe better for the environment, but here's the problem. They don't work as well. The water on the mountain is very, very dirty. Those tablets do not work. That is directly from my guide and other guides. That means bacteria, that means diarrhea or worse. Also, those tablets take time to work, and that is very, very inconvenient. It would discourage you from drinking a lot of water, which you need to do. Because there will be times where I'd be chugging water to stay hydrated. You can't do that with tablets. You have to, time how much, you have to put them in there and, rotate them between letting them dissolve. So coming from a guy who sweats a lot and drinks a lot of water, bottled water was my only option. Now I did pay extra for charging my power bank since I had so many GoPro batteries. So this add-on section probably won't be as high for you. Now Wi-Fi and charging. It was anywhere from $3 to $6 per stop. Now Wi-Fi, some places would charge for Wi-Fi and it would barely work. Honestly, turn your phone off and just soak in the Himalayan mountains. I never bought Wi-Fi the whole time I was there. Hot showers, definitely not included. So I think I bought one hot shower on the trek, but definitely maybe worth it. So take that into account. What else is not included is, souvenirs, market gear, shopping like jacket, gloves, and tip. $420 US for tip. That's about 25% of the cost. And I split that 60-40 between my guide and porter. My guides carried my life and on their backs, so they deserve every penny of that tip. Most trekking companies will give you a down jacket. So you'll see in a lot of the pictures I'm wearing my Alpine Ramble jacket. That did save me some money. So it is used, someone else used it, but I don't really care. It kept me warm. I spent about $500 on gear. Now, let's break it down. The big expense was me buying wool underlayers. So I bought 2 wool shirts. They're about 80 bucks each. 2 pairs of underwear, that's about $80 right there. 1 pair of long underwear that's wool, that's $80. And a long sleeve shirt, that was about $80. A scarf and a hat also, that's over about $120 right there. Now, what other gear did I buy? I bought water bottles that can actually withstand boiling hot water, which was very important. You can't just use your everyday cheap plastic. It has to be like a very high grade plastic, so that way you can withstand that. So that was another $50. Now, obviously it's not a complete list of what gear to bring to Everest, but most people hiking Everest Base Camp Trek have done other hikes before, so I'm assuming you have a lot of the big gear items like a backpack and boots. But for me, these are the items that I did not already have. And I'm a pretty avid hiker. So for the wool, now wool is more expensive, and that is where a lot of this cost came from. And that was definitely the biggest expense that I regret. I didn't need the wool really before this trek, and I won't really need it after. So it seems like a lot of money just for 10 days that I probably won't use again for the future. So yes, wool is better, but not worth it in my opinion. Just wear regular dry fit clothes that you can get cheaper and I guarantee you already have. It's not worth it to buy wool. Now gifts are important for yourself or friends or family. So have extra space in your bag for a yak bell or a sound bowl or any other unique gifts you find. I'd budget at least $100 because gifts are actually pretty cheap over there. Helicopter evacuation. That would have been $800 if you used it even with the insurance. So keep that in mind. Now the insurance was only, I think I spent like $200 on medical insurance, which is required, but That's still $800 for the helicopter on top of it. So additional optional costs. So I did spend some money on traditional medicine that does add up in terms of cold and sinus medication. I brought a Z-Pack in case I got really sick, but also optional costs, maybe a massage, which I definitely thought was worth it. Some extra meals at the hotel or drinks in Kathmandu. End of the story is plan for extras. You'll be glad you did when your legs are wrecked and you need that massage, or you want a drink or something extra that you didn't budget for. So build in some money into your budget for the extras. Everest Base Camp isn't cheap, but it's worth every cent. If you're planning your trek, check out my full Everest Base Camp video series to see exactly what it's like, from terrifying flights to life-changing views. Also, go to alextravelsfar.com to sign up for a free newsletter that I send out travel tips, Google Map links for everywhere I go, cost breakdowns, and of course, don't forget, travel far.